Good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending. Today, I will be updating the media on Homicide 60 for 2016. On Saturday, November 19th, 2016, at approximately 11:30 a.m., the Toronto Police Communications Bureau received a 911 call to attend the townhouse complex located at 11 Shoreham Court with respect to what was reported to be an unknown trouble. When the officers arrived, they were directed to the backyard of one of the townhouses. The uniformed officers from 31 Division were informed that a young shooting victim was taken directly to hospital by one of the occupants. The officers attended the hospital, where they learned that the victim had succumbed to his injuries. The victim of the shooting has now been identified as Kahim Ramsushit, 17 years of age, of Toronto. An autopsy was performed on Sunday, November 30th, 2016, and the cause of death was determined to be a gunshot wound to the torso. We have now learned that sometime after 11 a.m., the deceased left his home and walked to meet several of his friends. The deceased and his friends were gathered in a backyard where they were socializing. Several minutes after the deceased arrived, two male individuals parked a dark SUV in a roundabout just west of the backyards where the deceased was standing. The two males make their way towards the backyard using a paved walkway. They eventually come up to a wood fence that divides the walkway from the private yards of the townhouses that are lined up in a row. At this time, one of the males shoots his firearm over the fence and strikes the deceased. Several shots were fired at the deceased, and no one else was injured. The males then flee the scene, running back towards the parked SUV. The SUV travels south and then west on Shoreham Drive. The males are described to be wearing dark coats and hoods. Today, we are releasing a surveillance video that depicts the images of these two males fleeing the scene and entering a dark SUV. We are appealing to the public and asking for their assistance in identifying the males and the vehicle. We are asking that anyone who may have seen this vehicle or these individuals in and around the area of Shoreham and Jane on Saturday, November 19th, 2016, is asked us to call our office at 416-808-7400. We are also asking anyone who saw the deceased during the week prior to the homicide to call us at our office as well. Anyone with any information is asked or requested to call Crime Stoppers. I'll take some questions now.
Do you have any idea of motive towards this? Do you believe this young man was targeted?
Well, certainly that's our task here, is to try and find out what happened. Our appeal is hopefully going to answer those questions. We're releasing this videos. Hopefully someone will come forward, and hopefully someone who was in the area will remember what happened, or will remember seeing these individuals and give us a call.
You mentioned that you believe this shooter or shooters aims over a fence towards a group of people.
Yes.
Does that tell you anything, or is there anything to be gathered from that?
It tells me that they know the neighborhood. More than likely know where this individual was at the time. At this point, that's all I'm about to share.
Were you able to glean anything from the victim's friends?
Certainly, that's part of our investigation, and yes, we did. However, it's not something that I would share at this point. We still are in the process of speaking with more witnesses. I hope and I expect that at some point people watching this video may come forward and provide us some more information. I certainly would like to speak to anyone who had any contact with the deceased just prior to the homicide, and by prior I mean the week before. So at least we can glean some more information with respect to his whereabouts and his movement throughout the week.
Can you just walk us through the video? I mean, it's not that long, but just what we're seeing and when you think this took place.
So this occurs shortly after the shooting. The men are walking or running in a westerly direction towards a roundabout at Shoreham Court. They get in, one of the individuals gets in through the driver's seat, and the other individual gets in through the passenger seat. And then, as you can see, it just flees south onto Shoreham, which leads to Shoreham Drive, and then ultimately out to Jane Street. As you can see, and you will notice on the video, it was raining quite heavily that day, and at that time, the lens of the camera appears to be depicting the raindrops. I know at one point you see quite a big drop that lands right on the lens and makes it a little difficult to see. And it was rather windy as well that day. So.
Do you have any idea what type of SUV that is, other than just dark SUV?
Well, one of the reasons for us to release this video today is to get an untainted perspective and a witness who can tell us exactly what kind of vehicle. We certainly are not prepared to tell the viewers that what the vehicle is. We certainly would like to see someone or have someone tell us what that vehicle is. Okay?
Do you have other surveillance video as well, perhaps them coming towards the scene?
We're still working through that surveillance video. As you probably are well aware, surveillance video now has become a lot better. The definition is better, which means it takes a lot of time to download the data. So, like I said, the quality is a lot better, so it does take some time to get downloaded. Okay? Thanks, folks.
That concludes today's conference. This video, along with two other stills, one of the two men approaching that fence, will be available online shortly. Thank you.